Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TJK Network. My name is Tyler Kostek, reporting to you live here at PTHS Memorial Field, Girls Lacrosse, where the Pequannock Golden Panthers will be taking on the visiting Academy of St. Elizabeth Panthers. A Panthers versus Panthers matchup and an important divisional game, as well as both teams are in the NJAC Independence Blue. Let's get into the stats. So Pequannock will be coming in this game with an overall record of 9-3, undefeated at 4-0 in that NJIGLL Independence Blue Division. And they'll be coming off an 11-9 win against West Orange on senior night. And that was on the 13th. We were there to cover that. That was a thrower of a game. The Academy of St. Elizabeth will be coming in this game with an overall record of 8-6, 3-1 in the Independence Blue Division. And they're coming off a 17-12 win at Villa Walsh, also on May 13th, but on the road. So Pequannock wrapping up with divisional games. They have this, and I believe their last divisional game will be the makeup game against Kittatinny, which is on May 20th. Anyways, let's get into your starting goaltender for Pequannock, and that is going to be number 19, Jake Roby, who will be entering this game with a 9-3 record with a .397 save percentage, averaging 6.08 saves per game, with a goals against average of 9.25 with no shutouts. Jake Roby has continued to be excellent. She has reached, of course, her 100th career save in her last game, and I believe she's entering this game with a career total of 105. She was excellent in the last game, especially when the second half, Pequannock was having scoring issues, and West Orange was rallying back in their game. But, of course, Jake Roby and, of course, the defense pulled through. So, yes, Jake Roby will be entering this game with 105 career saves. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribing is completely free and helps us out a ton. Send this message to family and friends who can subscribe. Also, turn on notifications while you're at it, as we upload everything on a weekly basis, and also you can notify yourself when we broadcast or upload our next video. And also you can always have the option to go into each individual game you're specifically looking for the week, since we again put them up on a weekly basis, and you can turn on the button that notifies you for that specific game only. This stream is brought to you by our official sponsors, Bullpen.com and TopWaterBastards.com. Opening and draw will begin momentarily. Check out our TJK shop, TJK2.com/shop. That is in the description below if you want to check that out. And here are our links. So there's the shop link right there. And then, of course, we have our TJK152.com/network. That is our website if you want to check out for any more information regarding to our sports network. Be sure to follow our social media platforms. We are available on Instagram and TikTok. Both are at TJK Network. So, of course, the Academy of St. Elizabeth 8-6 and Pequannock 9-3. So both pretty good teams coming in this game, as well as, division-wise. Of course, Pequannock still looking to remain undefeated in the Independence Blue Division. And of course, you have Academy of St. Elizabeth, who's 3-1 in division, looking to get a win there and give Pequannock their first loss. So it's going to be a thrower here at PTHS Memorial Field. It is a beautiful day in this early morning game. It is 70 degrees and it's cloudy out, so it's actually pretty cool out. So of course, still got a couple games left before state playoffs. Now currently Pequannock, as of right now, let's take a look. I'm 100% sure they're still holding the 2 seed due to the lack of games. We'll take a look at that for you guys. So Pequannock still currently holds the number 2 seed as of, what it says on the PowerPoint rankings, because, of course, for mainly lacrosse, the state will, or the NJSA, AA, I should say specifically, likes to make a lot of modifications to the playoff bracket. So I'm not 100% sure if they would be guaranteed a 2 seed in this situation, but they should at least be able to get a high seed and start the first round home. That's what I'm hoping. So again, right now they're in a 2 seed spot. Verona holds the 1 seed. They're only 1 power point, I would say, back from getting the 1 seed. But again, not sure what NJ.com will have in store for us. But yeah, that's how the PowerPoints work. Still don't really understand it, but I go there to check out what seed we are. But still, they always make their little modifications. But anyways, open and draw will begin momentarily here on TJK Network. Stay tuned. We will also see who is starting in goal for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. And it is going to be number 50, Chiara First, who will be in the net for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. And of course, Jake Myrobe in for Pequannock. So here we are getting ready for the open and draw. Dominic Digels will be taking it for Pequannock, and Katie Callahan for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. Here we are underway. This one's loose off the draw there. Still rolling loose before it's knocked up in the air there. And picked up by Pequannock. It was Caitlin Zegel with it. She takes a fall there. It will be Pequannock's ball due to the in-stone trip, or actually it won't be. You'd think it would be. So it looks like the Academy of St. Elizabeth's going to get it. I thought Emily Zegler had it and she was tripped, but I guess not. So the other Panthers will be bringing this one in, starting with Katie Callahan, who is with it right now. Katie Callahan hands this one over to Delatouche. Shot. And this one saved by Jake Myrobe. It was a shot on the lower side. Makes its way through. Jake Myrobe, of course, holding that one down. She'll pass this one along to Kylie Cannon. Now over to Dominic Digos. Dominic Digos rushing in for Pequannock. Now Sophia Teresi. Behind the net, Ruby Smith taking this one. Ruby Smith. Over to Sarah Robinson. Back to Dominic Digos. Now Emily Zegler with it. Emily Zegler. Now back to Digos. Sarah Robinson with it. Bring this one in. Getting in front. And the shot. And they score! It's Emily Zegler in front of the net. And the Panthers lead 1-0 to start off on the score sheet. Great sneaky little pass by Sarah Robinson over to Emily Ziegler with a nice little shot right there. And the Panthers on the board, first in the game at 1-0. Loose off the draw, picked up by Dygos. Pequannock bringing this one in here. Once again. We're going to get another one in this game. Ruby Smith. Now Sophia Teresi. Over to Emily Ziegler. Emily Ziegler with it. Passes this one along to Caitlin Ziegler. Takes the shot. And this one is saved by Kiara First. And now the Academy St. Elizabeth back with it. Annabelle Griffiths bringing this one in. And she loses that one on her stick. But that one was pushed. So Pequannock will have to defend here as the Academy St. Elizabeth gets set up here. Little flick pass right there as this one's taken behind the net. Coming with it, number 9, Margaret Kelville. Now with it is Kitty Callahan. Now Scarlett Claps with it in front, tied up. Chance right there for the Academy St. Elizabeth, and it is stopped by Jackmary Roby and recovered by Pequannock. It's Cam Corbo with it. Cam Corbo bringing this one in for Pequannock. Sophia Teresi now with it. Ruby Smith with it behind the net. Ruby Smith tries to send it in front. It is recovered by Cam Corbo, then knocks loose again. And the whistle's blown right there. It will be Pequannock's ball. 7:33 to go in the first. Cam Corbo over to Emily Ziegler. Now Dominique Dygos with it. Back to Cam Corbo. Now Dominique Dygos back with it. Now over to Sophia Teresi. Now over to Ruby Smith once again. Ruby Smith sneak in from the side. Tries to get in front there. That shot did go in the net, but the whistle was blown early, so that's not going to count. At least she was tied up in the process, so Pequannock will get a free shot. It will be Ruby Smith with it. Ruby Smith takes the shot. Stopped by Kiara First. And now bringing this one in is Colleen Santori-Yellow for the other Panthers. I have to stay in the broadcast because we got two Panthers teams playing against each other. And this one is turned over. Celia Shetton right there with it. And she is knocked over. And it will be Scarlett Claps back with it for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. So the Academy of St. Elizabeth back with it after Soya Shenton with the turnover there. And of course, the Academy St. Louis was recovering it from the turnover to Shenton. So Academy St. Elizabeth in the zone here. Now it's starting to rain here. And the Academy St. Elizabeth getting set up here. And now the rain is really coming down here. You still play on though. Man, the rain just started really coming down in an instant. And this one's taken out the center here. As now Pequannock has it back as they bring it in. It's Caitlin Zegler with it. Caitlin Zegler over to Summer Cerisi. And she's tied up there. Shot. This one gets past and is picked up by Kiara first. The Academy St. Louis is back with it. As they bring this one in here with a shot. Save made by Jake Roby. And now over to Sarah Robinson. Now over to Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith over to Sophia Teresi with it. Now Summer Cerisi with it. Over to Jocelyn Maselli. And now back to Sarah Robinson. Now over to Emily Zegler. Emily Zegler to Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith over to Summer Cerisi. And she's tied up there with 2:55 to go. So Panthers will set up. It'll be Summer Cerisi with it here. Summer Cerisi with a shot, and it goes wide. The Academy St. Louis recovers it on that loose ball that went wide before it went out of bounds. And the other Panthers are back with it. The rain came down hard, and it's now lightened up a bit there. A bunch of the fans who were here ran right away when it started pouring to grab their umbrellas. But now it's started to slow down a bit, but we still got a little rain. Shot right there from Caitlin Zegler, and she scores. The Panthers take a 2-0 lead. Right off the rush there. Let's take a look at the replay on that. So that one is Caitlin Zegler there. So the Panthers now double their lead with 2:12 to go against the Academy of St. Elizabeth. Panthers win another draw here, and they bring this one in here. Bring this one in is Dominique Dygos with a shot. She scores! It's Dominique Dygos, and the Panthers take a 3-0 lead. So Dominique Dygos with the goal there, right off the draw. And the Panthers are now rolling late in this first quarter after it being 1-0 for a while, as the Academy St. Elizabeth has done a fair share of defense as well as here are first on the goaltending side of things. Pequannock back with it. Off the draw here. And the lightning detector will go off here. And that is going to put a pause on our game now. So we're going to have to go on a delay for 30 minutes. So, unfortunately, another lightning issue has happened with the lightning detector. So that's going to go off, which is going to put our game on a roughly a 30-minute delay. So we will have to leave the press box, unfortunately. So we will be back momentarily.
What is it, 20 minutes usually? 30. Right. As long as it's like another more. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 10 40. No, it was like
Melissa just got here, I think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We had to close the press box as we're going to have to leave it for a bit. But the game is going to be put on a 30-minute pause due to the lightning detector going off, as lightning has been detected in the area. So we're going to have to stop the game with 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Pequannock up 3-0. We will see you, hopefully, back in 30 minutes here on TJK Network. This is Talkcaster Zach. We'll see you shortly, hopefully. We do not have another game suspension.
Bought this bottle of wine for Mike for his birthday. Oh, maybe they just decided, hey. Yeah. You want me to carry that, Dad? No, you know, let me ask this. Can I ask you a question? Can I keep a poster in there? Are you guys, is that, you know what? My daughter's about to hit 300 points. So I just, is that okay? Just because I feel, is that all right? Okay, thanks. It's 14 on St. Elizabeth. She's 5 points away, so I brought this in case she is. Is that all right? Okay, thanks. Oh, thank you so much. If it gets wet, it might all run. Thank you. Oh, you want me to help you close it? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then if she gets close, if she knows all.
I can get it. No, I'll get this one. That's one. Just take one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
That's good.
And I'm just going to get this stuff here.
Okay, you got that.
Well, Tom, that's this up.
I said.
Oh, sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, this weather.
Welcome back, everybody, to TJK Network, and we will be starting back shortly. It went from cloudy and extreme rain with that lightning delay to now beautiful outside with the sun, but also now nasty outside with the heat. As it was, as I said earlier in the broadcast, it's a cool 70 degrees with the cloudy skies, but now it's just disgustingly hot out. It's crazy how quickly that changed. Now that the sun's out, most likely that's why, because it's now 73 degrees, which it actually says 72 now. So 72 degrees. And of course, you know, there's still clouds out, but that's the storm just going away, obviously. But now it's sunny for this game. So yeah, both teams are going to get warmed up here for a few minutes before we get back into the into this game. Other than that, stay tuned shortly.
Yeah. Okay, rather. Yeah.
All right, so we should be getting back into things in a few. We'll be entering this game back with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go in the first quarter before the game was paused from the weather delay. Pequannock currently up with a score of 3-0. So it looks like Pequannock had possession last before that all happened, so we'll bring the camera over here for you guys. Again, it is pretty hot out now. Here we are. So Pequannock with the possession here as we get things back into it with 1 minute 35 to go in the first. Ball loose there. And the Panthers recover it. It's Dominique Dygos. Dominique Dygos with it here. Bringing it in. Passes this one along to Sophia Teresi. Now over to Ruby Smith behind the net. Now Emily Zegler with it. Emily Zegler skating in with a shot, and she scores! Emily Zegler with that immense speed as she went in and got another one here. And the Panthers now lead 4-0. So the Panthers with a 4-0 lead with 1 minute and 8 to go. It was, again, a 1-0 game for pretty much the majority of this first quarter. But, of course, the Panthers have opened it, of course, with more goals. Loose off the draw, but Emily Zegler picks it up for Pequannock. Hey, 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Panthers with it still. Emily Ziegler over to Cam Corbo, and she scores! Cam Corbo, and it's 5-0 Pequannock. So the Panthers, the Pequannock Panthers, I should say, because we're playing against another Panthers team. The Pequannock Panthers, with 41 seconds, have made it a 5-0 game. Again, a lot of goals in these late dying minutes and now seconds in the first. So Emily Ziegler with 2, Caitlin Ziegler 1, Dominic Dagos with 1, and now Cam Corbo with 1. Off the draw, it's loose. Panthers trying to fight for it again. It's rolling, recovered, and picked up by Dominic Dagos. And I believe Dagos tried to take a shot there, but that one was blocked away and goes wide. 23 seconds to go. It will be the Academy of St. Elizabeth with it. "12 seconds to go, and this one is turned over to Caitlin Ziegler, bringing this one in. Time winding down. Emily Ziegler over to Dominic Dagos with a shot. Save made by Kiara First. And the horn's going to sound, and that'll do it for the first quarter. And the Panthers will take a 5-0 lead as we now enter the second. So, you know, it was obviously a very close game at first, but then the Pequannock Panthers have found their way on getting past the Academy of St. Elizabeth defense here in goaltending. And have now made it a 5-0 game. Looking to continue on the high-powered momentum here. And as Pequannock is playing determined there to try to get a division title. So obviously last year, I believe they finished 4th or 5th in the division. They had an overall record of 10-9. They had a 3-4 divisional record last year. So, of course, looking to pick up their first division title, I think, since 2021. But again, I think in 2021, they were in a different division, or the divisions were different, as they usually change over time. Of course, Pequannock Girls Lacrosse, you know, having some success again. After in 2021, the team went, I think it was 15-2, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to take a look at our history here. Of course, they went 15-2, and yes, they went 15-2 in the 2021 season. Undefeated 6-0 in the old, or what they were in the Freedom West at the time. Of course, only losing to Madison in the county tournament, and then of course eventually at Mountain Lakes, they had the 5 seed. It was against the 4 seed, and Mountain Lakes was actually not that good that season. They were 4-14 that year, but of course they played probably really hard teams, so that's probably why they were a 4 seed for how rough of a record that is. And then, of course, the season following was just years after. It was just nightmare seasons for Pequannock. The year after, you know, going 15-2, the team went 0-13. And then, of course, 2023, they went 7-12. And then, of course, last year, they went 10-9, their first winning season since 2021. And, of course, this year, they're 9-3. So after a couple rough years, after having a pretty good season, they're back to an elite status, looking to hopefully continue on it. So, of course, here we are entering the second quarter here. Pequannock up 5-0. Looking to continue on the momentum here. Here we go. Loose off the draw again. This one rolls over, and Dominic Dygos picks it up for Pequannock. Sarah Robinson, who had trouble with it. He's able to recover and get it back here. Sarah Robinson gives it over to Sophia Teresi. Now Ruby Smith with it. Ruby Smith over to Dominic Dygos. Dominic Dygos in front. She scores! Dominic Dygos and the Panthers now up 6-0. Dominic Dygos with their second of the game for Pequannock. Off the draw. This one is knocked away there. Academy St. Elizabeth trying to pick it up here, but Kaylin Ziegler there able to pick it up for Pequannock. Sophia Teresi over to Dominic Dygos. She scores! And Dygos with a hat trick. And Pequannock now up 7-0. Great pass right there from Sophia Teresi. Dygos in front there, and another goal. 7-0 Pequannock. As their offense continues to pour goals on the Academy of St. Elizabeth. Again, who started out really competitive in this game, and we're going to have a timeout. But as we were saying, yeah, it was, you know, again, only 1-0. Academy of St. Elizabeth was, you know, playing pretty well. Just was not able to execute offensively, but they were getting their chances and fair share of keeping it even within the play. But of course, they just have not been able to get things going as they're down 7-0 now. As Pequannock continues to ride their hot momentum they got going on here. Now for Pequannock baseball, they're playing on the road today at Jefferson. I wonder if thunderstorm came by there too and delayed their game. I wonder what happened there too, because it rains pretty badly for a bit, so that's not going to be great for the field. But anyways, we should go over around the spring sports teams. So of course, baseball is 13-7. They're currently at a 2 seed. Again, fighting for that number 1 seed with Midland Park. And Jefferson is a pretty good team, so a win would be huge. Nick Werner, again with the start. They were supposed to play yesterday, and that was going to be on TJK Network. But of course, that game got canceled due to a thunderstorm earlier in the day. And same for softball, who was supposed to play against Hanover Park here at home. And softball is 12-7. Again, remarkable turnaround season. They were 7-19 last year, and this year they're 12-7, and they have currently an 8 seed. They just picked up a huge win against a 12-4 Parsippany team, now 12-5 from the Pequannock win. So that was huge on power points, of course. And of course, boys lacrosse played against Westwood, and when we covered the softball game, and they lost in the dying minutes. The goaltender for Westwood scored a buzzer beater for the win. Pequannock was up 9-8, and then they conceded a goal with 1:10, I think, to tie it 9-9. And then right at the last second, Westwood's goaltender had the ball, got out and took a shot, I think right at center there, and scored a game-winning goal at the horn, which is incredible. And they lost 10-9. Boys lacrosse is unfortunately 7-7 now. Kaylin Ziegler over to Emily Ziegler. Pequannock with the possession here. This one's knocked away. Now picked up by Annabelle Griffiths. Academy of St. Elizabeth bringing this one in. Looking to get one on the board here as they have struggled since the later minutes of the first quarter. believe there was a push involved there, so the Academy of St. Elizabeth's going to get a chance here on the attack, as they need one badly here. They want to get something going in this game. So the Academy of St. Elizabeth is going to set up here. Again, their offense has been shut down by Pequannock's defense and, of course, Jake Myrobe. But, of course, Academy of St. Elizabeth had some chances early in the game. Academy of St. Elizabeth being guarded there as they try to get set up here. Currently with it is Katie Callahan. Katie Callahan was about to take a shot, but she's guarded away and she's pushed. And that's going to force the Academy of St. Elizabeth to get a free shot attempt here with 9:15 to go. So they'll go for the pass here. Academy of St. Elizabeth trying to get in here. Pequannock guarding on number 14, Scarlett Claps. But of course, I think there was a push on the stick involved, so that's going to give them another chance here.
Let's go, Scott.
Scarlett Claps with a shot and a goal. The Academy of St. Elizabeth is on the board. It's 7-1. So the Academy of St. Elizabeth gets one here to cut the lead down to 6 for Pequannock. Now that the sun's gone, it's back to being a little bit cooler out now. It's crazy how drastic what it's been. Cam Corvo with it off the draw. Corvo bringing it in for Pequannock. Looking for someone to pass here. She'll give it over to Sophia Teresi. Sophia Teresi with it. Now over to Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith gives it in front there to Emily Ziegler. She had trouble with it. That one's knocked away. Still be Clark's ball with Emily Ziegler on it. Emily Ziegler over to Summer Cerisi. Now Cam Corvo wants to take a shot. She tries to weave her way through, and this one's taken away from her. And it's picked up by the goaltender, Kiara First. Academy of St. Elizabeth now with it. As Gracelyn Spina with it. The other Panthers with it. And a shot right there. And it was in the net, but there was a whistle, so that goal's not going to count. But they'll get a shot opportunity here. It'll be Scarlett Claps with it here. And she scores. The Academy of St. Elizabeth now has her second goal of the game. It's 7-2. The lead now cut down to 5 for Pequannock. So, after trailing 7-0 for the Academy of St. Elizabeth, they get 2. They're starting to creep their way back into this game, but of course they're a long way from tying it. But of course, you know, they're going to do all they can to try to get some pressure going, as they've been showing here, again, to try to get themselves back in it, which they've been trying to do, and they got 2. Emily Ziegler wins it off the draw. Bonk bringing it back in here. Cam Corvo over to Caitlin Ziegler. Caitlin Ziegler weaving her way through, and this one gets knocked out of her stick. She loses it. Academy St. Elizabeth, again, looking to rally back in this game. Taking this one through center there. And I believe this one went out of bounds. We'll have to double check on that. Looks like the Academy St. Elizabeth will still have it here. Bringing it in is Ella Delatouche. And now Scar claps another, and she scores. The Academy St. Elizabeth starting to rally in this game now. It's 7-3. With 6:23 to go. And we'll have a timeout as well. Again, Pequannock was up 7-0. The Academy St. Elizabeth gets 3, so. Again, Pequannock, I believe most likely it's a Pequannock timeout. They will probably have a talk with the team, you know, get themselves back in it, and try to hold out the Academy of St. Elizabeth from rallying back here. So of course there's a banner that one of the Academy St. Elizabeth parents have. It's on number 14, Scar Claps, who's already gotten on the board in this game. She's only a few points away from hitting her career total of 300. So I'll know when that banner is taken out of the other room in the press box, as they we put it in there for them so it didn't get rained on. Here we are coming out of a timeout. It's a 7-3 game. Lead now cut down to 4. So 6:23 to go in the second. Off the draw. Kaylin Zegler gets it for Pequannock as one of the refs loses their footing there, but gets up. All good. Pequannock looking to get something here going as Emily Zegler brings this one in. And she got pushed, I believe. So Emily Zegler will take a shot here. Of course, again, Pequannock up 7-0. The Academy St. Elizabeth rallies 3 back. Emily Zegler taking a shot. She scores! And the Panthers get one here to make it 8-3. And Emily Zegler with a hat trick as she scores her 3rd goal of the game. So a huge goal for Pequannock, again, to prevent the Academy of St. Elizabeth from gaining any momentum, as again, they scored 3 straight after Pequannock's 7-0 lead, but Pequannock gets one here to keep the insurance goals rolling, and it's 8-3. Academy St. Elizabeth picks this loose one up off the draw here as they look to get another here. Academy St. Elizabeth takes a shot. Save made by Jake Mary Roby. She gives this one over to Cam Corbo. Cam Corvo coming through with speed there. And we have a green card, or excuse me, I think it's a yellow card. Given here to number 21, Annabelle Griffiths. This one's knocked loose and picked up. Back by the Academy St. Elizabeth as Scarlett claps with it. Scarlett claps, bringing this one in. It's knocked away loose as Dominic Dygos picks it up for Pequannock. Dominic Dygos will play this one back here to Maria Iorio. And now played over to Grace Fisher. Grace Fisher with it. Now over to Sarah Robinson. Sarah Robinson tries to give it over to Ruby Smith. It's loose right there on the pass. It will be Pequannock's ball from that whistle. 4:26 to go in the second quarter here. Ruby Smith with the ball for Pequannock. Ruby Smith over to Summer Cerisi in front. And this one is stopped by Kiara First. Academy St. Elizabeth back with it here. Olivia McWannell with it before it's turned over back to Pequannock here. Caitlin Zegler with a shot. Saved, made by Kiara First once again. Game's starting to get exciting now, late in this second quarter with 3:43 to go. Pequannock gonna now have to defend here. Academy St. Elizabeth back with it as they bring it in. So the Academy St. Elizabeth entering in on the attack here. So the Academy St. Elizabeth bringing this one in with a shot. Save made by Jake by Roby. That was Scarlett Claps with the shot there. Roby there stops another. And Roby with a nice high pass over to Dominic Dygos. Dygos rushing through. Center. And now coming in with a move. Dygos gives over to Cam Corbo there. Cam Corbo back to Dominic Dygos. And now Caitlin Zegler over to Summer Cerisi in front with a shot. And this one is blocked. It goes off of a body in front there. That's going to be a yellow card. It was on Summer Cerisi. So Academy St. Elizabeth back with it here. So the Academy St. Elizabeth not able to connect on that pass there. Now it's loose. And now Emily Zegler with it for Pequannock. Emily Zegler taking her time here. This one's knocked away with the stick there. And there was a push there. Let's see whose ball it was. It will be the Academy St. Elizabeth back with it. The Academy St. Elizabeth bringing this one back in here. And they're not able to connect on that pass there. And this one is loose once again. Maria Iorio picks it up for Pequannock. Now over to Grace Fisher for Pequannock. on defense. Chris Fisher over to Dominic Dagos. And this one will get back to Grace Fisher here with a minute to go in our first half of the game of the second quarter. Dominic Dagos with it for Pequannock. Dagos bringing it in. 45 seconds to go. Sophia Teresi with it. Summer Teresi over to Ruby Smith. 30 to go. Over to Dominic Dagos, but she's not able to get that one on that pass there. And it's turned over to the Academy of St. Elizabeth. 15 to go. The Academy of St. Elizabeth rushing in here. It's Scar Claps, takes a shot. She scores. And Scarlett Claps gets another for the Academy of St. Elizabeth to cut the lead in half. It's 8-4 with 7 seconds to go. So, Scar Claps with another goal here to make it 8-4. Quank now leading by 4 as the Academy of St. Elizabeth cuts the lead in half. And now we got more clouds coming, I should mention as well. It's cooler out again. Hopefully we don't get another thunderstorm. Knock on wood. The horn will sound here off the draw. And that'll do it for our first half of the game. And Pequannock will enter halftime with a 4-goal lead with a score of 8-4. So that'll do it here for our first half for Pequannock versus the Academy of St. Elizabeth. JV, of course, will follow after. So JV will, of course, follow after varsity. That'll be on TJK Network 2. You can tune in on that after this game. As once the stream ends, it will redirect you right to it. Anyways, this is Tyler Kastazak reporting this game to you live. The Academy of St. Elizabeth versus Pequannock. Pequannock leading with a score of 8-4. We will see you shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to TJK Network. As we get ready for the second half of this game with the third quarter coming underway shortly as the sun comes back out. So Pequannock with a 4-goal lead at 8-4. Scarlet Claps with a late goal with 7 seconds to go in the second quarter to make it an 8-4 game. Scarlet Claps is now only just 1 point away from hitting her career total of 300. She most likely will get it today, as she has been on a scoring pace here for the Academy St. Elizabeth offense. Of course, trying to get themselves back in the game here. Goals scored by Pequannock are by the following: Emily Ziegler with 3, Kaylin Ziegler with 1, Dominique Dagos with 3, and Kim Corbo with 1. So here we are as we enter the third quarter for the second half of our game. Here we go. Kaylin Ziegler wins this one right off the draw here. Kaylin Ziegler coming in here with speed. Now over to Dominique Dagos. Now Sophia Teresi with it. Sophia Teresi looking to get in front. She'll opt to pass this one to Ruby Smith behind the net. Ruby Smith over to Kaylin Ziegler once again. Try to get over to Dominique Dagos, and she loses that one there, and this one's going to be turned over to the Academy of St. Elizabeth. So now the Academy of St. Elizabeth back on the attack here. So they look to get one here, and this one goes wide. Grace Fisher with it for Pequannock. As she gives that one over to Cam Corbo. Oh, excuse me, that's Kylie Cannon with it. So Kylie Cannon loses that one there, but it goes out of bounds. It will be Pequannock's ball still. So Pequannock with it here. Sophia Teresi for the Pequannock Panthers as she takes this one behind the net. Around to the side. Sophia Teresi over to Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith over to Jocelyn Maselli. Dominic Dagos over to Emily Ziegler. Emily Ziegler moving her way in with a shot. Save made by Kiara first. And now the Academy of St. Elizabeth bringing this one all the way back into Pequannock's zone here. Again, looking to get another here with a shot, and they get one. The Academy of St. Elizabeth makes it 8-5. And we have a bit of an injury here as someone's going to be taken out of the game here. I'm not sure who it is. We'll have to take a look. It is one of Pequannock's players. She is walking on her own though, but she's gonna come out for a bit. It is, I think it's Caitlin Zegler, which unfortunately is a big blow to the Pequannock offense here, as you know, her and Emily Zegler are the backbones to the team scoring, but she's gonna come out for a bit. I'm not sure what happened there. Dominic Dygos wins this one off the draw here. So Pequannock looking to get another here to keep some insurance goals to prevent the Academy St. Elizabeth from rallying back fully here, as they have against them. Shot in front by Sophia Teresi, and she scores. The Panthers get a huge one here. Sophia Teresi makes it 9-5. So a big goal there for Pequannock, a much needed one to build on getting some insurance goals. As again, the Academy of St. Elizabeth has not quieted down. They're still producing. Again, they had a pretty rough end of the first quarter, and then they've kind of picked it back up in the second, but you know, they've been getting themselves going. It's a huge goal for Pequannock, with Sophia Teresi getting on the board for herself. The Academy of St. Elizabeth wins this draw here, and they bring it into Pequannock's zone here. Academy of St. Elizabeth not looking to quiet down still, of course. And they're going to try to get another here to keep the game within reach. Currently with it is number 8, Katie Callahan. Katie Callahan looking for a passing lane. She's going to steer this way in. She loses this one. It will be still their ball. I believe that one may have been pushed. So that's going to give her a shot opportunity here. And she'll take the shot. And save made by Jake Roby. She got the initial block, but that one almost got past right on the line. But she keeps it out. But this one's turned over at the side here. The Academy of St. Elizabeth still with it here. And Jake Roby try to play it away. We'll have another whistle here with 7:30 to go. It'll be another opportunity here for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. And they get one here. It is Scarlett Claps. She gets her 300th career point. And the Academy of St. Elizabeth cut it to a 3-goal lead for Pequannock. Let's take a look at your instant replay. So it is Scarlett Claps with the goal to make it her 300th career point. So 9-6 game. It's kind of becoming a similar issue to what we saw in the West Orange game, where Pequannock was, you know, dominating the first half, but of course have slowed down offensively in the second, but they were able to score just enough there to prevent a full-on collapse, as that was an 11-9 nail-biter the previous game on senior night against West Orange, which was another important divisional game. Caitlin Zegler with it here for Pequannock inside of the Academy of St. Elizabeth's zone here. This one's knocked loose. Pequannock trying to regain possession here, but this one rolls away here. The Academy of St. Elizabeth picks it up here. And now the Academy of St. Elizabeth driving their way through center and now entering the Pequannock zone. And a shot and a goal. It's a 2-goal game at 9-7. And unfortunately, Pequannock's slow second half that started with the West Orange game is starting to creep back again. As it's only a 2-goal game. Again, Pequannock led this game 7-0, and they've only scored 2 goals since. So, it's a little bit concerning there. Hopefully, we find a way here. And we're going to whistle off the draw. And it's Academy St. Elizabeth's ball here with 6:17 to go in the third. So Academy St. Elizabeth looking to make it a 1-goal game now that they're heading back on the attack in Pequannock zone here. Chance in front for the Academy St. Elizabeth. They're being guarded by Pequannock. And this one is taken by Cam Corbo. Now Maria Ioria with it. Gives over to Dominic Dagos. Dominic Dagos has it knocked away there, but it will still be Pequannock's ball. Dominic Dagos gives over to Sarah Robinson. Sarah Robinson rushing in with some room. And she'll set up on the attack here, and it'll be a shot opportunity for Pequannock from that whistle. 5:09 to go. Sarah Robinson steering in, takes a shot just wide. Pequannock's still with it here on the attack though. It's Ruby Smith. Now over to Summer Cerisi. Now over to Dominic Dagos. Dagos with a shot over the net. Pequannock once again still with it here. Summer Cerisi. Over to Emily Ziegler. And now with it is Dominic Dagos as she cycles and goes around behind the net here. Passed along here. Over to Emily Ziegler. Rushing in with a shot. And this one is blocked away. Pequannock needing a goal here badly. Ruby Smith with it. Ruby Smith at the side. No room. She'll bring it behind and pass it over to Dominic Dagos with a shot. And this one's in the net as it sneaks past. It's 10-7. A huge goal for Pequannock. It's Dominic Dagos once again. We'll take a look at a replay there. That one was a sneaky goal from the side there. It looked like it went wide, but it's a good goal. So Pequannock gets a huge insurance goal to make it 10-7. And it looks like that is Dominic Dagos, if I'm not mistaken. So her 4th goal of the game. So 3-goal lead for Pequannock. Now at 10-7. Pequannock needs to keep scoring some more here again. 7-0 lead. They've only scored 3 since. They got to get it going here. They're struggling here with scoring in the second half, just like against West Orange here. Pequannock with a huge win off the draw here. Looking to get another. They need to keep the pressure going. Sophia Teresi over to Ruby Smith. Cam Corber with it. Emily Ziegler now with it. Jocelyn Maselli. And now Sophia Teresi. Ruby Smith with it at the side. Ruby Smith passes this one along to Emily Ziegler. Emily Ziegler with a move. She'll pass this one along to Caitlin Zegler, who is back in the game. Caitlin Zegler loses that one. It's loose and recovered by the Academy of St. Elizabeth. Academy of St. Elizabeth bringing this one in. It's Katie Callahan. And this one's passed over, nearly turned over, but the Academy of St. Elizabeth holds on here. Looking to make it a 2-goal lead again with a shot. This one goes off the ground and wide. The other Panthers with another shot. Save made by Jake Mary Roby. She'll pass this one along over to Grace Fisher. Cam Carville with it. Now over to Maria Iorio. Now over to Kylie Cannon. Pass all the way out to center. They get the pass to Grace Fisher. Great pass in here as Pequannock brings it back in here. It's Jocelyn Maselli over to Summer Cerisi, and she loses that one there, but I believe Pequannock will still have it. 1:20 to go in the third. It will be Pequannock who still has it here. They'll get a chance on the attack here to try to get another here. They need goals here to keep their lead far from the Academy of St. Elizabeth. That Summer Cerisi gets a huge goal here for Pequannock. And the Panthers now up 11-7. Summer Cerisi on the board in this game with 1 goal. .106 to go in the third. Summer Cerisi gets another huge insurance goal to make it a 4-goal lead. Off the draw, Academy of St. Elizabeth picks this up. Wins another for them. And now we have one of the Academy of St. Elizabeth players get knocked over there. They'll have possession, and they'll get a free opportunity here of a shot or to set up. Looks like they'll set up here. Turned over here to Dominique Dygos. Now Caitlin Zegler with it. Caitlin Zegler over to Summer Cerisi. Now Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith looking to get in front here. She has it knocked away from her stick. She recovers it. Tries to pass it in front there, and this one's knocked away. The ball's loose. Picked up by the Academy of St. Elizabeth defense there. The horn will sound. That's going to do it for our third quarter, as we'll now enter the fourth, with Pequannock leading by 4 goals at 11-7. Although Pequannock has struggled a bit in this second half, they are scoring enough here to keep the game within their favor. Of course, you know, they got to get it going a bit more here, as the Academy of St. Elizabeth is not going to quiet down anytime soon, as they're getting a lot of chances here.
back inside, put shorts on. I said, no, I'm not done. Remember those days.
So here we are entering the fourth. Pequannock up with an 11-7 lead on the Academy St. Elizabeth. A major key to this game is, to keep the offense rolling here. Keep scoring enough insurance goals to keep it as far away as you can against the Academy St. Elizabeth. As they're going to continue to fight hard. In this rally that they got going on still. So here we are as we get into the fourth. Here we go. Dominic Dagos picks this one up off the draw here. Ruby Smith with it. Now over to Summer Cerisi. Now over to Emily Ziegler. Now Sarah Robinson. Sophia Teresi with it. Try to get over to Ruby Smith. She's able to just get it there to prevent a turnover. Emily Ziegler back with it from Ruby Smith. Emily Ziegler. Now over to Dominique Dagos. Ruby Smith back with it behind the net. Emily Ziegler with it again. Back to Sarah Robinson. Sophia Teresi back with it. Sophia Teresi looking to get in front there. Guarded away there. And I believe there was a little bit of a push involved there, so that'll give Sophia Teresi a shot opportunity here for Pequannock. Sophia Teresi rushing in with a shot. She scores! Sophia Teresi and the Panthers lead 12-7. So a huge goal there for Pequannock once again. As they now build it to a 5-goal lead. High off the draw. It's loose. Foul for it. It will be the Academy St. Elizabeth's ball from the officials. The Academy St. Elizabeth. Again. Well, kept this game within reach despite trailing 7-0 early in the game. Looking to get another here. Keep themselves in it. Academy St. Elizabeth rushing in with a shot right there, but I believe they were tied up on that attempt. Academy St. Elizabeth's going to hold on here. Turnover right there nearly. Grace Fisher putting on pressure, but this one goes out of bounds. It will still be the Academy St. Elizabeth with it. So Academy St. Elizabeth going to set up here on the attack. And we'll have a whistle here. They'll re-attempt it. And they'll go for the other second attempt here. Pequannock able to fight this one off here and force a turnover to Sarah Robinson. Sarah Robinson bringing this one in for the Pequannock Panthers. They're up 12-7, looking to get another. Ruby Smith over to Kaylin Zegler, and now over to Emily Zegler. Back to Sarah Robinson. Now Sophia Teresi in front, and this one's tied up here. And it was Summer Teresi with it here. She'll get a shot opportunity for Pequannock. Summer Teresi with it, with a shot. She scores! Summer Teresi. And the Panthers now with a 13-7 lead. Summer Teresi gets her second of the game. And we'll have another timeout here before we have our next draw. 7:45 to go in the fourth. Pequannock now getting their offense back up and going. I mean, the Academy of St. Elizabeth and Pequannock will have a timeout in this game. So once again, you know, of course, we had that concern in the third. Pequannock has not scoring enough there, as the Academy of St. Elizabeth got it. The closest they got it was a 2-goal game at 9-7. But of course, Pequannock has built more goals to increase their insurance goal margin by 5 to now lead. So 7:45 to go in the fourth. Pequannock looking to continue getting that offense back up like they did in the first half. Again, a huge divisional game here between these two good teams. Pequannock undefeated 4-0, looking to stay that way. And of course, the Academy of St. Elizabeth, 3-1 in the division, looking to try to rally in this game. This one's high up the draw and is loose and picked up by Emily Zegler. Ruby Smith with it. Now over to Sophia Teresi. Emily Zegler with it. Emily Zegler with some room. Passes this one along to side to Summer Teresi. Now Ruby Smith with it again behind the net. Ruby Smith loses it there, and she loses her footing. And we'll see what the officials say. Looks like Pequannock will get a shot opportunity here. Emily Ziegler over to Louis Smith. Now, Sophia Teresi over to Cam Corbo. And now Jocelyn Maselli gives it over to Caitlin Ziegler, getting through with a shot. She scores! And the Panthers double their lead. It's now 14-7. And that's Caitlin Ziegler with her second goal of the game here. So Pequannock Panthers double their lead once again. They get it back up to a 7-goal lead. Which is, of course, huge for Pequannock. Off the draw. Picked up by Caitlin Ziegler. Could continue on Pequannock's new momentum in the fourth, as their offense has began to click again, which is good. Cam Corbo. Now over to Emily Ziegler. Emily Ziegler rushing in. She scores! Emily Ziegler. And the Panthers now with a 15-7 lead. Emily Ziegler with her fourth in the game. So Pequannock has gotten themselves back in it here offensively as they now lead 15-7. Off the draw. And Emily Ziegler wins it. And a shot from Caitlin Ziegler. She scores! And Caitlin Ziegler now with a hat trick at 3 goals in this game. And the Panthers now up 16-7. Right off the draw, huge goal for Pequannock with 5:49 to go. They've got themselves rolling now. Off the draw. Caitlin Ziegler with it now. Now over to Jocelyn Maselli. Jocelyn Maselli has it knocked away. It will still be Pequannock's. Jocelyn Maselli with it for Pequannock. Jocelyn Maselli with a chance in front there. And she's stopped by Kiara first. And Nadia Academy St. Elizabeth back with it here. But it's loose at center. And it's turned over to Emily Ziegler for Pequannock, who's back with it again. Emily Ziegler over to Jocelyn Maselli. She scores! Jocelyn Maselli makes it a 10-goal lead for Pequannock. It's now 17-7, and Maselli now on the board as she gets a goal in this game. Pequannock's offense has been pouring goals in the fourth. They've been able to get themselves back in it. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth. Maselli gets her first in the game. It's a 10-goal lead for Pequannock. Knocked loose off the draw, but the officials will signal Pequannock's ball. Caitlin Zegler with it once again. Now, Dominic Daigo's back with it here. Now over to Emily Zegler. Now over to Sophia Teresi. Behind the net is Mia Cristofano. Now over to Caitlin Zegler. Caitlin Zegler moving in with a shot. And this one is stopped by Kiara First. Nearly got past her, but she was able to get just enough there to keep it out. Pequannock will still have it inside of the Academy St. Elizabeth's zone. As Dominic Dagos will take the shot here, stopped by Kiara First.
Nice! Keep running!
The Academy St. Elizabeth back with it here. They haven't scored since they made it a 2-goal game at 9-7 before in the third quarter, so the Academy St. Elizabeth been on a scoring drought now, looking to get one here. Shot to side here, and they get one. So it's now 17-8 with Pequannock still leading. Academy of St. Elizabeth breaks their scoring drought that they had. Again, their last goal was when they made it 9-7, but it all fell apart quickly for them once again. So it's a 17-8 game. Pequannock's still up by 9. With 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the fourth. Off the draw, it's won by the Academy of St. Elizabeth. Ball gets knocked loose, and it's taken back by Pequannock. Caitlin Zegler gets it over to Ruby Smith. Ruby Smith over to Mia Cristofano. And now Jocelyn Maselli with it as we reach our 2-minute mark in this game. Ruby Smith with it. Ruby Smith with a shot off the post. That one bounced off the ground before hitting the post there. Ruby Smith looking to get one in this game. She was close. And now the Academy of St. Elizabeth back with it here. Knocked loose again. It will be the Academy of St. Elizabeth's ball. Academy of St. Elizabeth with a shot in front. Check by Roby. Does she get the save? No. It was close. But it's 17-9. We'll have to take a look at that replay. I thought she just got it as it did get behind her, but I thought she had enough stop and force there as it looked like it was on the line, but I don't think so. It just got over. Let's take a look. Yeah, that one just snuck past by her. It went off of her a bit, so she did get a bit of it, but it just snuck past, and the Academy of St. Elizabeth makes it 17-9 with 1:20 to go. Another win up the draw here for the Academy of St. Elizabeth. So Academy St. Elizabeth with it inside of Pequannock zone as we reach less than a minute to go with 50 seconds to go on the clock. Panthers looking to close down a good now here. This one's loose right here. As Pequannock tries to battle for it back inside of their own defensive zone. It's loose, and Pequannock picks it up. This one's played out of play, or out of bounds, I should say. Looked like it was going to go over the fence there. "20 seconds to go in this game. Academy St. Elizabeth still putting on some pressure there. This one is loose from a failed pass there. And the Panthers trying to fight for it. No, I should say the Pequannock Panthers trying to fight for it back here. 2 seconds to go. And the horn's going to sound. That's going to do it. And the Panthers pick up a huge divisional win against the Academy of St. Elizabeth, who put on a good fight in this game. And that'll do it here on TJK Network. So, your final score for this morning, early morning game, or I should say now it's 12 o'clock. This early game, it's going to be 17-9 for your final score, with Pequannock picking up the victory. So Pequannock will remain undefeated in the division and advance 5-0 for their divisional record, and will advance to an overall record of 10-3. They have reached their win total of what they got in their entire last season and looking to continue on it here. The Academy of St. Elizabeth will drop down to an overall record of 8-7 and will also drop down to a 3-2 record in the division. So that'll do it here on TJK Network at PTHS Memorial Field. This is Tyler Kazak reporting this game to you live. The Academy of St. Elizabeth versus your Pequannock Golden Panthers. Pequannock with the 17-9 victory for your final score. We will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.